Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you all in the live chat. Great to see all of the members there. Welcome, everybody. I'm Natalie. This is Scientology, Life After a Cult, where we talk about the Scientology news and tea that has the internet buzzing. And oh my gosh, there is a ton today. We also talk about my 35 years growing up in Scientology and leaving with 3 generations of my family. And I also do interviews and other content throughout the week. So make sure when you hit the subscribe button that you also hit the notification bell so you get notifications when I go live. If everybody here right now can orderly walk over and hit that like button, that'd be great. I heard there was some running yesterday. Let's all be civilized about it. Oh my gosh. And Mitch's self-importance. Hello, Natalie. I'm here. You may now begin. Thank you. You making me laugh at that. I'm trying to walk with Jesus over here. That is actually really funny. And if you don't know the backstory from the name, somebody will have to explain it to you in the chat. Okay. Okay. Well, better to be laughing than crying right now. So thank you for that. All right. Thank you so much to my moderators for being here today. I know that Nancy is here and Are You Jellin's here and Mama Opal's here and ready to just take care of things. And look at that. Marilyn Honig is already in the chat. Chow Yun Smut. Great to see all of you. Oh, we have so much to talk about. We are going to get into a major twist in the Cupcake Mom scandal involving Scientology. It is a rabbit hole, my friends. It is. I expected this to die out the other day, to be honest, but now with what came out and the number of other channels that are starting to dig into the Scientology tie, ooh, it's getting messy. It's getting messy, and I'm so here for it. We're going to get into that. We are going to get into some protest news, a whole bunch of stuff. So let's jump into it. First, let's kick it off with a little Tom Cruise wouldn't fake his height, right? I mean, it's like if you're fun sized, I'm not the tall, I'm average. I think I'm like I'm 5'6", but in truth, I think I'm 5'5.5". I round up with height and then I round down by about 10 to 15 pounds with weight. That's math. That's Natalie math. So this whole thing, I don't know if you guys saw this short popped up here questioning Tom Cruise and when he was dating Penelope Cruz. Remember that? But it was very interesting and funny. And you know what? He's fun sized. He can't help it. But it is interesting that he would go through these measures. Would that be a pun to, make it look like he was taller than he was? I don't know. We're going to look at this. Julie Markham, thank you for becoming a member. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray to you, my friend. Thank you so much. Appreciate that support. All right, let's look at this.
5'7", and Penelope Cruz is 5'6", which is basically the same height, just 1 inch different. How did we get all of these photos? This was like a rabbit hole I went down today. So many photos of the two of them, and it is not giving a 1 inch, basically same height difference. This was one I pulled, and she's wearing heels here, and he's still definitely more than 1 inch taller than her. Once again, right? Look at her top lip and his top lip. That's more than 1 inch. And she's wearing heels on that red carpet. Obviously, I looked at the shoes a little bit. I saw this photo in which their height difference is astronomical. There's no way it's 1 inch. So I looked at the shoes, and his definitely have a couple inches on them, but so do hers. Do you know what I mean? That's not a 5'6", 5'7". That's basically the same height. Now it's an experiment. I wanted to see what they look like with the same person. Penelope Cruz, Johnny Depp, same height. Tom Cruise and Johnny Depp, same height. So far it's working. So if Tom Cruise is 5'7" and Penelope Cruz is 5'6", which is basically the same height, just 1 inch different, how did we get all of these photos? This was like a rabbit hole I went down today. So many photos of the two of them, and it is not giving a 1 inch, basically.
So what I find interesting about that is when he was married to Nicole Kidman, she towered over him and he seemed to embrace that. Do you guys remember old photos of that? I feel like it wasn't so much a thing, but nonetheless, it is interesting. It is interesting. You know what else is interesting? Do you guys remember yesterday where we covered, I think it was yesterday, there was a Hollywood council meeting, and Jessica Palma-Dessa and William Good and literally Michael, bunch of people were there. Otta LA, I think, was there as well, and letting the Hollywood City Council, whatever they're called, know what's up with Scientology, right? Well, during that meeting, there was a call made live, and it was supposedly it was Officer White. Officer White is an LAPD officer who is a huge supporter of Scientology. Some might call him Scientology's starts with a B. Anywho, his ex-wife calls and is like, dude's not paying child support. I'm just calling because nobody's getting back to me about this. We covered that, and we weren't sure if it was for real or what the deal was, right? If it really was her or not. Well, this story is making national news, international news, actually, because I believe, isn't the Daily Mail out of the UK? LAPD, let's make sure I got this pulled up here. LAPD's officer's ex-wife phones into council meeting he was patrolling to publicly shame him for skipping alimony payments. I think she said child support, so a little bit different. But still, if he owes it, he owes it. An LAPD officer was publicly shamed by his ex-wife during a council meeting after she called in and accused him of failing to pay child support. During a recent Central Hollywood Neighborhood Council meeting at Hollywood City Hall, residents were merely expressing their local concerns when the angry woman called in and blasted an officer in attendance. The bizarre moment was filmed by resident Jessica Palma-Dessa, who sat in the back of the room as the woman's call was played out loud for everyone to hear. The unnamed woman said that she was calling to follow up after she contacted the Los Angeles Police Department regarding missing child support payments from Officer Brian White. Officer Brian White and I have 3 kids together, and he has not paid child support, his ex-wife said. And there's William in the corner there. I think they even share part of the video. As she expressed her concerns, residents and members started laughing as they looked at the officer, who sat in silence before apologizing to everyone. So yeah, that is pretty much what happened. Then it goes on to talk about some of the reactions in the room to it. And yeah, there you go. I mean, part of me, I still feel bad for people, even when, they've done things that I didn't agree with or weren't okay. But when stuff like this happens, there's part of me that still feels bad for them. But yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's just the kind of stuff that happens when you hang with Scientology. You think that Scientology would be paying him well, paying him better so that he could, pay his child support that he owes. She needs to do that thing where you just automatically get it taken out of his paycheck. I wonder why they can't do that. Maybe she's trying to do that. She should get that. And Officer White, come on. And Osa, wake up a little bit. Osa, quick. Okay. This is what's called out PR, as you know, in Scientology, out public relations. It's a PR flap. It's a problem because Officer White is known as being in bed with you guys. And here he is, this positioning, right? You're being positioned with an officer who's not paying child support and taking care of his kids. So you might want to, and the fact that he's on your payroll so much, it makes you look bad too, because are you not cooperating with, is it being where they take it out of his check? You're not, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know how it all works. I just know it's really bad, and it's becoming a very big public relations fiasco. And Office of Special Affairs, my friends, you might want to be awake through this whole thing today, because there's a lot that's going to involve you. It is. Okay. Speaking of things that involve the Office of Special Affairs, Sins of Scientology. Sins of Scientology is here on YouTube. And you guys, episode 3 drop. They do true crime and Scientology, bringing them together. And I can't even tell you how happy this makes me. I love it. This one is about the takeover of Clearwater. So let's listen to just a little clip from the beginning.
Clearwater, Florida, a city known for its sunny skies, sandy beaches, and a hidden undercurrent of darkness. Nestled along the Gulf Coast, it seemed like the perfect paradise. But beneath the surface, a shadow was cast, transforming this tranquil town into the secretive global headquarters of Scientology. It all began in the 1970s, a covert operation, properties bought under false names, and a silent takeover. What followed was a chilling saga of manipulation, intimidation, and control. Local politicians harassed, residents silenced, and secrets buried deep within the walls of the flag land base. Clearwater, Florida, a city known for its sunny...
Oh, it just sounds so scary. And it is. It is. I listened to it last night when I was doing window time, which is when I take my quiet reflection time with one earbud in, sit next to my window and stare at the trees for a while. I think that is also called self-care. And I listened to this and it was amazing. Audrey, the sassy Parisian, thank you for becoming a member. Hip, hip, hooray to you. Hip, hip, hooray. Oh, darn it. Did somebody lock my door? Hold on a second. Hold on. Door was supposed to be left open for my daughter. Hopefully she gets that text with what the code is. Otherwise, I got to go open it. Oh, is it the meds? Can you, are you able to get it? Hold on, guys. Oh my gosh, we're just running a professional thing here. Tony's chemo meds are arriving and you have to sign for it. It's a whole thing. I was wondering, like, why is someone like banging at the door? Okay. Back to what we were doing here. Let's get back to this. So let's go over and take a look at Utah. We've been having so much fun in Salt Lake City. Have you guys been following Love is Love in Salt Lake City? I have, and it's been wonderful watching her not just protest Scientology out there, but have the police show up over and over again and basically be like, you know what? You're good. You're good. We got you, girl. We get it. We know. We know. We know. Yeah. It's fine. Just don't block the sidewalk. Every single time. So take a look at this. This is Love is Love in Utah.
That's gross. Like that.
And by the way, there's a protest happening this Saturday. I don't know the exact time, but you could probably find it on her channel. Take a look.
Off and, oh, that's gross. Like that's
I don't know
just
anything
horrible.
about that,
But
you know, you have First Amendment rights.
yep. And I'm
As long
and
as
I'm
you're
here
not
for
completely
them.
blocking the sidewalk, people come by. You know,
Nope.
going on the property.
I'm pretty sure you guys will get called on Saturday too. It's okay. Probably a few times.
Yeah, I've been there.
So
You're good. As long
yeah.
as you're doing your things, you're doing fine. I got no
Yep.
worries.
And we just got to check.
Hey,
and
yeah.
chat with you. And
Hey,
good.
you know what? That's your job. And
I'm
if you
also
didn't-
Palmer, whiskey one before, so.
And you know, if you guys didn't, then I'd be a little worried.
Right?
You know.
Well,
So
hey, power to you. Enjoy
do you
your
guys
First
got? Do you guys got cards? I'm collecting
I
cards.
don't have a card, but I'm Officer Palmer, and my badge ID is whiskey.
Oh well, I got the detective's card. He was here last time. You know.
Gotcha.
Oh, you're
We're not
you're-
detective.
Oh.
We're just the bottom of everything. Right?
Nah.
Every time they show up, they're just having a good old time. They're becoming friends out there. This is wonderful. Scientology, keep calling law enforcement by all means, because this gives the protesters and live streamers an opportunity to let them know what's what when it comes to Scientology and let them know how you're abusing these community resources for no reason, because no one's blocking a sidewalk or doing anything. So you keep that up. And also, I want to say, note, Osa, note this. Salt Lake City. I don't know if that's an ideal organization. Can somebody, if you tell me, any of my friends in the chat, or if you're catching this on the replay, no slacking, you get in those comments. Is Utah an ideal organization? I'm only asking because their landscaping is lackluster. I have been watching these videos. I've been seeing the landscaping and going, what is happening here? They better not be an ideal organization, because that is a flunk on the landscaping. Absolutely. DOA, is this the Aloha cult? Yes, it is. Alohatology, every day, all day. Where you do you, boo. Thanks for being here, DOA. Thanks for being here. We're going to look at a clip, actually, from your video. Virginia, thank you so much for this. We're going to do a Tony update a little bit later. He had treatment yesterday. His infusion, I'll put a picture on the community tab because yeah, he was just looking so cute in there, but then he always is. So we will do an update probably in the next day or two. I want him to hopefully be able to join. And, you know, you have good days, you have harder days. And right now it's a little bit harder. So we're going to give him a day or so and then see if he fills up for it sometime this weekend. And we will do that. All right. So let's see. Where are we at now? Let's go to Boobgate News. As most of you know, anyone new to the channel, there was this whole thing in Chicago where a Scientology staff member made contact with the boob of a protester who was there and then pressed charges, had her arrested. It was ridiculous. She shows up. Judge is like, nah, this is like whatever. No. But Scientology had 100 and some odd days to refile to go at her again. And here's the thing. A lot of people were like, Scientology's not going to do that because, you know, it's just really embarrassing to go to court. What if this goes to trial? I'm over here like, I hate that this is happening to Nance Drew. And I hope she gets a lot of financial support to help with the lawyers that she's going to need and the legal fees. But a part of me really wants this to go to trial because I want to see Scientology up front there talking about this assault by a boob that was supposedly made contact with during when Chadwick was trying to clean the sidewalk. I just want to see them defend this and waste those type of resources. It's ridiculous. It's such a foot bullet. I can't believe that they actually did this because now we're going to be talking about it more. It would have died out. We probably would have moved on. I mean, we would have had fun with it for a while because Boobgate, all of the jokes and the merch that goes with it is just too amazing. But this is BS for Nance Drew. And my heart goes out to her. And we're going to share a little clip of her video where she shares an update. But stay strong, Nance Drew, because this is stupid. And this is it already is backfiring on Scientology. It's ridiculous. It's such a joke. It is such a joke, but let's take a look at this update from Nance Drew. If you're not already following her on YouTube, you can find her at Nance Drew here on YouTube. Link down below to all the videos we're looking at so you can go check them out in full.
They had 160 days to file. Scientology did, and they refiled. I just found out just a little bit ago. So the next step would be for them to serve me. They haven't served me or my lawyer yet, but we know that it's coming. They have to serve me they have to serve me by mail, but at least we know that it's coming and I'll be looking out for it. The mail in Chicago sucks, but my lawyer should be getting it as well. So I just wanted to give you guys an update that there will be another court date, it looks like, and my lawyer thinks it's ridiculous, that it's a waste of time and energy, and that we will win this, but this may actually go all the way to trial. So Boobgate will continue, apparently.
Boobgate continues. Totally stupid, unnecessary stress and whatnot on Nance. But it just shows you the ridiculous levels that Scientology will go to. Forget the fact that this is, I feel like anybody in a position who was a trained PR or doing damage control, you know, like an Olivia Pope type. You guys ever watched that show? What was it called? Was it called Olivia Pope? I don't even remember. It was a while ago, but she was a fixer, right? She comes in and she fixes things. If Scientology had a fixer that they listened to, they never would have had her arrested, let alone file and have it go this far. This is going, I'm here for it. That's all I'm saying. And but check out Nance, check out her page, do what you can to support her, show her some love. Our boobs stand united with you, Nance Drew. All right, let's talk about let's look at a clip from DOA, who I think Scotty's still here in the chat. A little clip. He was at court the other day, and let's look at what he said to catch us up.
Proof of appearance, clerk's office. See, which sucks is that they don't have the clerk's office open at 8 o'clock. Really no reason that it should be open at 8:30 because I didn't get to see them to 8:44. So technically I could have been in contempt of court. Technically I could have been they basically no filing. There's no filing. So that's why I support not to get the lawyer ahead of time. That would have been thousands of dollars wasted for nothing. But this is showing a pattern, right? Yeah, so that's a failing the pair. That's why you get the proof of appearance.
Yep, great update. Link down below to the full video so you can check it all out. And want to make sure you guys all know that Nance Drew will be on Coffee, Cults, and Crafts with Marilyn Honig at 10. So everybody head over there after this and check that out. Check it out. All right, let's go check in on Oh No Nora. Oh No Nora has been visiting her mama. We've been enjoying those videos. Like I said yesterday, that apple did not far fall from the tree because her mama is sassy. And Nora was, I believe she was at Ventura, at the org in Ventura, which is where you guys know who's from Ventura, right? Diane, my favorite Scientology spy used to be, but more fun than sitting at home is Diane's channel here on YouTube. And Diane and Jack and Diane are in Ventura. They've done some protesting at the org there as well. And you guys have met. Diane's been on my channel a couple times earlier. But Nora is out there in what I like to call Jack and Diane territory. So check this out.
Day before too. Look, curtain tack
Oh, hold on a second. Oh, no, we are at the beginning. Okay.
in effect. Curtain tack. Guys, I gotta flip the camera. Curtain tack. They shut. Look at. They have all the curtains. Look at all these curtains. I didn't even go by the door, guys. I didn't even go by the door. This tells me 1,000,000% that, this tells me 1,000,000% that somebody is watching all of our lives simultaneously and telling people to shut the doors, telling people that they have to turn on some music, shut the doors, and go into a panic. Why are they panicking? Why are they panicking? What is there to panic about right now? Literally, what is there? What was I even talking about? I'm not even saying anything bad. This is day before too. Look.
Thursday before 2. Oh no, Nora out there getting it shut down. Close those blinds. Virginia, thank you for that. Boobgate Unite t-shirt. Haha. Yep. You know what? Let's find out if Nance has some merch for that. Hopefully she does. If not, hopefully she gets that going. I would love that. Love that. Love that. Love that. That's right. Nevering Catherine. Oh no, hot dog. Great to see her out that. Yep, Mama Opal. Osa, we know you're here. Hit the like button. Hit the thumbs down if you want. I think I can always forget if there is one. I think there is. There is. Either way, it helps. All right. Virginia Martinez, thank you so much. Hip, hip, hooray. Thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate that. And your super stickers as well. Boob ghetto, Utah ghetto. I don't totally get it, but maybe someone can explain it to me in the chat or in the comments. You guys are so great about that. I do, when I don't get something, I do go back and try and look and see if anybody explained it to me, even in the live chat, see if I can find it. So I appreciate that. All right, let's talk about flyer tech. Putting up flyers in and around Scientology areas, especially not right by them, because when you put them right by them, they just go out and they take them down. Not that it shouldn't still be done, just to do it. But our friend here, Eric Rader, has been out putting them up. He was putting up flyers with Davey Mismanaged, who's also here on YouTube. And Eric saw flyer tech in action where people are reading them. Check this out.
Look, people just stopping and reading that too. Look at this. Look, people just stopping and reading that too. Look.
Love that. Love that he was there too and was able to see that, because he's been working really hard at that. So thank you, Eric and Davey Mismanaged and everybody else who's out there getting those flyers out. Now, you guys have been watching MD Media 18. We've seen him a lot in Los Angeles, in Pasadena, and he caught a few clips yesterday of some odd things outside Scientology. I know you're like, Natalie, every day is an odd day outside of Scientology. But this was particularly odd. So we're going to look at a few of these things. I want you to tell me what you think is happening in these clips. Tell me in the chat if you're catching on the replay. Tell me in the comments what's happening. What are we looking at? I'm going to tell you what I think, and then we will see if we think the same thing. First, there is a young lady who came out of Scientology with another woman. Could be a mom, could be an aunt, could be a friend, not sure. But the young woman, her face is very, very red. Could be a medical condition. The reason why this raises some flags is because in Scientology, they do something called the purification rundown, where they get in a sauna for 5 hours a day and take dangerously high levels of niacin. What happens is this causes a niacin flush, and they just completely get all red. Yeah, so this is what might be happening, but maybe not. But he caught it and it was odd, so let's look at it.
Oh my God, that poor girl in the blue. It's all red. It's like a purification maybe session. She's completely red. She does not look healthy at all. The 6-minute mark. Oh yeah, she's beet red. She's out of it.
Could be a niacin flush from the purification rundown. Could not be, but a little odd. Also at the same place there is, let's look at another clip. I think I know what we're looking at in this next one, but it is odd to me that a Scientology staff member is doing it. I'm not sure exactly what this is about, but you guys tell me, especially my ex-Scientology friends, have you ever seen a staff member prepare what I believe to be is a nebulizer for, asthma treatments? But tell me what you think. Let's look at it. And let's discuss. See, he's cleaning like the oxygen mask. And this is a Scientology staff member who's there wearing the mask himself. I don't know if he's a Sea Org member or a regular Scientology staff member. There's a gentleman sitting at a table there who, just beyond the vehicle, you can see him. He's cleaning this tubing area. Looks like he's disinfecting something. To me, that looks like a nebulizer. I had a child with asthma, and so we would use this often. That looks like the saline water that he's putting in. And then you add in the actual, what is it, albuterol? He's wearing gloves while he's doing it. He's wearing a mask while he's doing it. So he's putting that in there. He's going to connect the thing up and then he hands it to the guy. And you even see a little what do you call it? A little wispy. It's not smoke. It's like the vapor that comes out of the nebulizer. When he gets it hooked up. So it's, I'm happy to see that if this guy needs a nebulizer and a treatment, that he is getting it, most importantly. But two, I find it so odd that a Scientology staff member is doing it. I mean, the guy looks like he could do it. And he's doing it outside. Which, you know what, it'd be nice to do it outside because it's nice out. It's just a little weird, right? MD, right. So weird to be doing that outside. Yeah. And if I think like a Scientologist, I'm thinking that, well, if you do it inside, that nebulizer medicine might get on other people. So I don't know. Yeah, Sandy, exactly. Why in the royal family is he cleaning it outside? Cleaning it and setting it up. Yep. Penny Lane, it's a breathing treatment for sure. Yes. I mean, let's just props Scientology for giving somebody medicine that they need. We're going to give you that. But why are you doing it outside? Maybe he's getting some fresh air. I don't know. It is weird. So neuropsych, they do allow medicine, not mind altering, not psychiatric drugs. If you do need, like you have a surgery and you need to be on pain medicine, you can. But it's discouraged for any length of time because you'll have to do the purification rundown again on account of the drugs. So they're kind of like, yeah, go ahead. Take those painkillers. Go ahead. You want to take painkillers? You take the painkillers. We're going to make you go through the niacin torture again. So a lot of Scientologists, myself included back in the day, I mean, I'm somebody that went through 3 births naturally because L. Ron Hubbard said to. Now, I am not knocking natural birth. I think for people where that is the choice for them, and it makes sense and they want to do it, you do it. The reasons why L. Ron Hubbard does it, recommends it, has people do it this way because of like the engrams that he says that it creates and all that, I think is a bunch of BS. But yeah, interesting. Isn't it weird? It's just so weird. Oh, this is interesting. Mock is saying they probably want to counter the narrative that they don't care about medical needs. Oh, you were probably right. That very well could be it. It could be. They are known for sometimes doing things to show that, no, we do this. Look, we did it this one time. Did you see that one time we gave that guy a nebulizer breathing treatment? No, we give medicine when it's needed. We did it that one time. Look, see, it's on video. The protesters covered it. Yes, that's right, Sarah. LRH, the OBGYN. I know. It's actually one of the things when I look back on so many things that I did in Scientology in my 35 years and multiple generations of my family. Natural childbirth, the way that it's, Scientology has a way of enforcing things without enforcing them, especially in the Sea Org. It's one of the things that pisses me off the most because that was hell. And my last one, I needed some Pitocin to get it going, and I had meant to get a shot. And there ended up not being time. And if any of you ladies have ever had Pitocin-induced contractions, then you know what I'm talking about. Imagine doing that with no painkillers whatsoever. Is it any surprise why I have a ridiculously high pain tolerance? It's so dumb. But yeah, hate it. I think it's ridiculous. Oh, and on top of it, you got to be quiet. Silent birth. So not just drug-free, but you're not supposed to be screaming and yelling and doing all of those things. You're supposed to just be quiet. Just be quiet. That's what L. Ron Hubbard said. Have this baby with no drugs, women, and be quiet while you're doing it. He's such an a-hole. Okay, let's talk about another clip from MD Media 18. And MD Media has been putting up flyers looking for Emily Jones. Emily Jones is the daughter of Phil and Willie Jones. She and her brother have been missing in the Sea Organization for a decade. No contact with their parents, forced to disconnect, devastated their family. And anyways, he got a little video clip and was wondering if this young lady was Emily. So you guys take a look at this. Some of you might know what she looks like and see what you think. Does that young lady there, is that Emily Jones, or does she just look like her? I honestly do not know, but thought we would put this out there. So tell me in the chat, tell me in the comments. Is that Emily Jones or not? Curious. She gets in the van, she drives off with the other people who are in the van there. Just curious to what your thoughts are about that. Old Fritz, if you had painkillers in labor, would you have to do Purif after despite just giving birth? Well, not immediately afterwards, but it would probably come up at some point that you would need to do it. That's another reason why sometimes Scientologists will just tough it out because they don't want to do the purification rundown again because it sucks. Being 5 hours a day in a sauna and taking all that niacin and all that stuff, it's horrible. So sometimes it seems like taking the pain might be a little bit easier. So LA and Toronto Scientology audit says, I think it looks just like her. Okay. We'll have to have Phil take a look at it. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. People, we are going to go look at a clip from Mark Bunker. Mark Bunker has been taking a lot of old Scientology footage, protest footage, and 4King it and putting it up on his channel. And there is a clip there. There's a video of when Heber Jentzsch was on Phil Donahue. For you younger folk, Phil Donahue was like, I don't know, the Dr. Phil back in the day. I don't even know if Dr. Phil's out still now. But people watched Phil Donahue. It was like a big show. Heber Jentzsch was the Mike Rinder of his day. He was the spokesperson, the president of Scientology. He was the face of Scientology. He would get out there and do all the things, defending Scientology and representing Scientology in the media. So we're going to take a look at this clip from Heber Jentzsch, and we're going to get into some stuff that is going to disturb the hell out of you. So I'm going to warn you right now. Let's take a look at this clip. You can find the full video on Mark Bunker's channel.
It's like it to be made known to the people here. I live in Toronto. I just recently retired from Metropolitan Toronto Police Force. Some years ago, we executed search warrants on the Church of Scientology in Toronto, very controversial. As a result of that, This is well documented in criminal records. They had members of the Scientology Church become civilian members of the local police forces, Metropolitan Toronto, the Ontario Provincial Police, Peel Region Police, Durham Region Police, got jobs, came on and worked in the records section and was caught and arrested for divulging confidential information on people.
People who would be their enemies.
And that's Heber Jentzsch up there on the stage.
As they perceive them.
Exactly. I'm not speaking on behalf of the police now, but I just retired from it after 33 years as a detective.
Those people violated the law, and those people went to prison, and they should have gone to prison, and I would have taken them to prison because they did violate the law. They are.
So here's the thing. This is something that Scientology, I haven't seen them do it in a while, but what they've done in the past and what Heber you'll see him do in this instance. Yes, those were bad apples and they went to prison as they should. We got rid of them. We cleaned house. Yeah, no, you didn't. You usually move people around and then just rebrand. Like when it was the Guardian's office, back when you infiltrated 136 government entities. You remember that? And then one of the biggest raids by the FBI in the history of the FBI occurred. Biggest raid was on Scientology. Do you remember that? And all those documents were found. And then those 11 Scientologists were sentenced to prison. Do you remember that? Along with Mary Sue Hubbard, L. Ron Hubbard's own wife. That was in the 70s. Nothing has changed. Nothing. Here we are in 2024 talking about a lot of the same things and the same behavior. So let's let this guy finish up here.
Out of this church, and we removed those people. The current management of church were the ones who removed those people. They should have gone to prison.
You hear the audience?
Because they violated the law. You are absolutely right.
Very controversial.
Yes, it was, I'm sure.
And I would just like it.
Very controversial. Indeed. Here's the deal, people. He has that Walter Cronkite voice. Yeah. Yep, he did. All right. Here's the deal. Here is the deal. And you're right, Jeanette. Phil did not cut Heber any slack. Love it. That's true. That's what makes it such a great one. Virginia, thank you for that. Yikes. Here's the deal. Heber Jentzsch was married to Karen Delacarriere, who is a critic of Scientology, of Scientology management, of the Scientology Church. She left. She was a highly trained auditor in Scientology. I think she was a class 12 auditor, which on the training side of the bridge to total freedom, it is about as high as you can get. She leaves Scientology. Their child, Alexander, is like 8 years old, goes into the Sea Org, doesn't see his father but a couple of times for years, right? I'm gonna kind of like jump ahead here. Alexander ends up in the Sea Org and he has no parental supervision. There's a woman who's supposed to be keeping an eye on him, but kind of is not. Meanwhile, his mother has left the Sea Org. He can't talk to her. He can't talk to his dad because his dad's out doing the work of Scientology, representing L. Ron Hubbard, going on Phil Donahue and doing stuff like that. So what happens to this kid? This kid is known to be incredibly smart. Some even refer to him as a genius. Really smart, really bright. He is working as a Sea Org member, no supervision. This is an article we're going to take a look at just to give this kind of some perspective here. Hold on, I'm going to pull that up. So Alexander Jentzsch, he died at, I believe he was 27 years old. I think it was in 2012. He had left the Sea Org with his wife, who he had married in the Sea Org. He was sick. He had a fever. He was staying with his Scientologist in-laws who were operating Thetan level 8, both of them. He was staying at their house. I don't know where the wife was. She wasn't there. One night they look in, he's sick. He's laying there. They leave him. The next day doesn't look like he changed positions. 24 plus hours go by before they really go in and look at him and realize he's dead. He died over something that probably could have been treated. From a fever, right? From being sick. He died alone. He had a mother who loved him, who had been cut out of his life after she was declared a suppressive person when she left Scientology itself in, I think it was 2010, and Alexander died in 2012. Heber Jentzsch himself, far as we know, is still alive. He's got to be close to 90 today. It's been said in the past that he was even in the hole where Mike Rinder was, where they were held in those double wide trailers and physically and emotionally tortured. He's got to be 88, close to 90. I have not heard anything official that he has passed away. His son, it's bad enough that he tragically dies at 27 from something that he could have gotten medical care for, which is mysterious circumstances. He's at his in-laws' house. They see that he hasn't moved, but don't like approach him and make sure he's okay for over 24 hours, and he dies. They then take their kids to school, and then they contact the Office of Special Affairs, their person there, and then they contact the authorities. Karen's not allowed to see her son after he passed, to see her son before he passed. She could have helped her son in multiple ways because she had the means to do it. So it's just tragedy, tragedy, tragedy. Okay. Now back it up. Same kid, seen as being very smart, very bright, a genius, but not getting an education in the Sea Organization at 8 years old. Fast forward, he's about 12 years old, 12, 13, working in the Sea Org. No mom or dad there. This one woman is kind of keeping an eye on him. Another woman who was a Sea Org member who was about 40. I think she was between 38 and 40 years old. She was a mother herself. I think she had like maybe 3 daughters. She had a couple daughters. I know that. She ends up R-ing him. He's 12 years old, 12, 13. She's close to 40. What does Scientology do? They do what they always do. They do what Matt Pesh told us they do. There's a YouTube on video with Matt Pesh, who worked in Treasury in the Sea Organization. Part of his job was to handle the funds to move predators and victims out of the state where the crime happened. That's what ended up happening. This is the president of the Church of Scientology, his son. If his son can't be protected and looked after and taken care of, and his son, his own son, the president of the cult of Scientology back then, can't be protected in that way, how is it anybody thinks any other of these kids and children in Scientology can be then or today? He was in a position of power in Scientology. It's absolutely disgusting and awful. And Sandy McKenna, I know you're here. I think it would make a great episode for Sins of Scientology. Dig into the death of Alexander Jentzsch and the story of his parents and his father, where's he? Where's Heber now? 88 years old. We know when we see what's happening to the elderly in the Sea Organization, what's happening to him. Where's he now? So, yeah. Letting you know that. Hey, Kelly Copter, aloha. So I wanted to share that and just put it in a little bit more context, because it really speaks to when we talk about children cannot consent in Scientology. And when you have children running around without supervision, right, without proper care, these are the kind of things that can happen, especially in Scientology. Yet, Scientology, meanwhile, is out trying to put together a week-long event for children in Los Angeles, starting this Saturday. Kids Zone, Fun and Play. Join us for the Hollywood Kids Fun Zone and Fest 2024. This thing's like 9 days long or something. It's on the weekend. During the week, it starts at 3 because kids are in school. I don't know why they just didn't wait till they get out, but maybe they just want to start at 3. And they claim that it's going to be about cultural diversity. There's all this stuff for kids. This organization has no business hosting anything for children in the community. When the president of your church, let's call him a church, Scientology, you want to be called a church? The previous president of your church, look what happened to his child in Scientology, who is now no longer with us, who should have survived. What happened to him should not have happened. That should have been preventable. I'm talking about when he passed away, and then also what happened to him when he was 12 years old and it was covered up. But no, let's go have an event. Let's go have a kids event and bring even more kids around Scientology. It's absolutely ridiculous. So there is that, dropping that on y'all. But Sandy, I would love to see an episode on something like that. I think it would be great. I think it would. Oh, Nance Drew, by the way, says she's working on the Boobgate merch. So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for that. Virginia, stop the panic. Osa, haha. Thank you for that. Squirrel SPTV, are they allowed to take pain meds for like a broken bone or headache? Advil, over the counter stuff. You can take prescription, like an Oxy or something like that. But you're gonna have to redo the purification rundown again. But nothing like Zoloft or Xanax or Valium or Klonopin or lorazepam, nothing like that. Nothing to help with anxiety, nothing to actually treat mental illness. None of those. Cult of One. Is the medical liaison office the same as the medieval liaison office? It does seem like it. It really does. It does. Doesn't it? That's actually a great name. All right, let's now talk about this whole Cupcake Mom thing and Scientology and the ties to Scientology. And first, let's take a look at a video from, do you guys watch the comment section with Brett Cooper? She has a huge YouTube channel. And hey, Laura FM, good to see you there. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Anyways, she has a huge YouTube channel here, and she is talking about it with the Scientology tie. We're going to look at a few things, so hold on to your seat because it's about to get really crazy. First, let's take a look at her video and clip, and then we're going to look at something else. And this is, again, the comment section with Brett Cooper.
All of that. This man is allegedly a Scientologist because he has links to Scientology and Scientology resources on that website. Here's some clips
And if you don't know, this girl's got like over 4 million subscribers here on YouTube.
of that.
Here I'm showing you on the website he created about me the Scientology links because he's now claiming he's not a Scientologist. The handbook is linked on the page.
That is weird. And in light of his response and a lot of this coming to light, then Elizabeth now made another video talking about his claim. And it was over 9 minutes long, but this account did a good summary so you can kind of get the gist of everything that she was saying.
She stated that Andrew, who is a doctor, manipulates his financial situation to appear insolvent, impacting custody and support agreements. He also convinced Elizabeth to sign an agreement under duress when she had no resources.
I see all my children, one who does everything until he pulls them away. And the reason by that is the agreement that you guys have seen online. And I first left him out of abuse. I had no resources, no money. Nothing. He said, if you sign these papers, nothing will change on when you see them, and I will not ruin your life. On Friday, the dance recital, afterwards, 4 of my girlfriends asked for me to go to dinner for my birthday. And I said to him, after the dance recital, I'm going to go to the dinner, but I'm still free for the rest of the weekend for the girls. He said, no. You made the decision to go to dinner. You will not see them on your birthday. You will not see them any other. But also, he's a doctor, eye clinic, and he essentially runs all his bills through his business. And he pays himself like $350, $400 to turn that in as his financial affidavits, which essentially means he makes no money.
Elizabeth also said that she has faced public scrutiny and death threats.
So she goes on to cover this in a video, full link down below so you can see it. So keep that in mind. And then look at this. We are going to take a look at Liz Gale. Liz Gale here on YouTube and on TikTok. Liz Gale has been digging into this, and she found out some more interesting info that we are going to take a look at here. This is from Liz Gale's TikTok.
New York, Rebecca Minkoff, the handbag designer.
Is her family involved in a vengeful smear campaign against crying Cupcake Mom?
All right. You guys know Rebecca Minkoff has been filming on The Real Housewives of New York. Her father is David Minkoff, a physician who was involved with the death of Lisa McPherson, a Scientologist who died at the hands of Scientology after being held for 2 weeks in a hotel at the Fort Harrison when they took her out of a hospital where she should have gotten mental health help and she didn't. Also, another Scientologist, and this was just, was it last year or the year before? I think it was the year before, Whitney Mills. At the top of Scientology's bridge to total freedom. Whitney Mills was an operating Thetan level 8, a young woman. And under the care of Scientology, even though she was in her own home, she was a patient of Dr. Minkoff's as well. And she ended up unaliving herself in a horrific way. So this Dr. Minkoff has got some dirty hands. And his daughter's Rebecca Minkoff, the handbag designer Scientologist, who is now filming with The Real Housewives of New York. Her brother is Yuri Uri, I've heard it pronounced a few ways, Minkoff, known Office of Special Affairs. This is one of yours, Osa, so come claim him. Spy, narc, goes around tattling on Scientologists, does his dad's business dealings. Okay, so just so you understand the players here, are we clear on this now? So Cupcake Mom and the Minkoff family, there is a tie. And let's listen to more about what she has to say here, because this just blew my mind. Check it out.
What did I just find? We're going to start at the beginning. This is crying Cupcake Mom, Elizabeth. She dared to cry, film herself as a single mom making her own birthday cupcakes. She went incredibly viral, over 50 million views. Her ex-husband Andrew did not like this. He wanted the world to know that Elizabeth was a terrible person and a terrible mother. He did this with his own TikTok account called Reinventing Elizabeth that was 2 years dedicated to post after post about exposing his ex-wife and all the terrible things she had done. And there was a lot. A lot of his posts linked back to this website, ElizabethTeckenbrockInfo.com. The other thing on this scandalous expose website was a curious link to the Church of Scientology. See for yourself right here.
And we've talked about that. Even Aaron at Growing Up in Scientology did a video about this whole thing and how it was linked to a Scientology L. Ron Hubbard teaching about what he calls the third party law. Oops, hold on a second. I just accidentally got rid of that. Let's bring it back. Where L. Ron Hubbard says there has to be an unknown third party stirring up stuff between two parties, individuals, or groups so that they continue to fight.
This website basically doxing Elizabeth and accusing her of doing a bunch of stuff that she may or may not have done. I don't know. One of these things was pledging her husband's name on a lease for a coffee shop that they later got sued for. The coffee wine bar was going to be called Lulu's. When she didn't pay, she was sued, as was her husband, by Minkoff Holdings, David Minkoff. You know who David Minkoff is, right? David Minkoff is a longtime Scientologist, doctor. He lives down in Florida. He is the father of Rebecca. He has been involved in many a scandal, which I won't get into here. Oh, and the address that the coffee bar was going to be located at, 707 Cleveland Street. Here's a couple of other things registered to there. And bodyhealth.com, which is a vitamin supplement store. And guess who's on their advisory board? David Minkoff. So if I've got this right, the Scientology connection.
Oh, Liz, just bringing the tea. Just bringing the tea.
And is actually not the ex-husband. It's the Minkoffs. Did crying Cupcake Mom piss off Rebecca Minkoff in 2023, resulting in a smear campaign against her?
Because here's the deal. That hate website, her ex-husband has emphatically denied that he had anything to do with it. Well, let me rephrase. He says he didn't create it. Doesn't mean he didn't have anything to do with it. He didn't create it. Maybe he didn't. So this other potential here is that the Minkoffs, right? We know this is a multi-generational Scientology family, huge financial supporters to Scientology. One of the kids is an Office of Special Affairs spy. Rebecca's filming with the Real Housewives right now. Dad got in trouble 2 times. One time he had to pay, I think it was $100,000 because of what happened with Lisa McPherson. And then there was the whole tragedy with Whitney Mills. So is it possible that someone in the Minkoff family, like Uri, possible, I'm speculating here, are they the ones who created the hate website because they're in the middle of a legal battle with Cupcake Mom over renting this space and then not renting that space? It's a theory. It's an idea. It just, I just blew my mind. But you look at where it's at, the location, who owns it, all of the things around it. If the ex-husband did not create the hate website on Cupcake Mom, Elizabeth, somebody did. And I find it, I cannot begin to fathom the idea of someone not in Scientology doing this. It's such a Scientology move. It truly is. And the fact that it quotes L. Ron Hubbard is kind of the dead giveaway, because people who are of a Scientology mindset or have a very obsessed mindset would not quote L. Ron Hubbard as the solution or source for anything. You know what I'm saying? You might quote him to show that it's crazy talk. You might quote him to show the hypocrisy, stuff like that, but not include it in a website of like, to better understand the situation, go and read what L. Ron Hubbard and Scientology has to say about it. So as it turns out, one of the reasons why it's being thought that the ex-husband was one responsible for the website. He's the first suspect because he's the ex-husband, and it's nasty. The other thing is, he said, I'm not a Scientologist and I never have been. Well, it turns out he did take multiple services with a business. In Scientology, there's this front group called the World Institute of Scientology Enterprises. WISE, or a WISE group. They pay Scientology a percentage of all the consulting fees they collect to teach business owners, namely chiropractors, dentists, and optometrists, as is the case with Cupcake Mom's ex-husband, how to run their business using the teachings, the doctrine of L. Ron Hubbard, the exact same teachings that Scientology uses to run their organizations. It is the doctrine of Scientology. Yet they like to say, oh, it's not Scientology. It's not Scientology. No, it's Scientology light. No, it's full-blown Scientology. It is. So for however long he was involved in taking these classes and running his business, and he's now separated out from that, or at least he's saying he is, right? Let's say that he is. That still means somebody is going at this woman hard, right? Now, this hate website, I'm not saying whether she did or she didn't do the things that she's being accused of. The point is, who creates a website like that and then quotes L. Ron Hubbard as the solution for it? A Scientologist. So if the ex-husband's not a Scientologist, and then we find out, lo and behold, the Minkoff family's involved in this, could it have been them? You guys tell me what you think. Tell me in the chat. Who do you think made the hate website? Who do you think is behind this? If you're catching this on the replay, please do tell me on the replay. Let's take a look too at, you can see where the actual, I have a clip here from growing up in Scientology, and he shows where this property is, where this coffee shop was supposed to be that Cupcake Mom was involved in. Let's take a look at this.
This is smack dab in Scientology town. Okay. Now, this is the Anytime Fitness Gym, and it seems that Dr. David Minkoff, and Uri, I believe, handles the business for his father, Dr. David Minkoff, owns this property. And so she entered into this lease agreement. She's alleged by her ex-husband to have forged her ex-husband's signature on the contract. And then, of course, she didn't have the money to follow through with this thing. And so she backed out of the entire deal. And now she is being sued by Dr. David Minkoff's family. The same Dr. David Minkoff that was involved in the death of Lisa McPherson. The same Dr. David Minkoff who was involved in the death of Whitney Mills. What a small freaking world this has turned out to be. So I still want to extend the offer. Well, at this point, it might be moot, but to Andrew Cormier to say, if you want to prove to the world that you are really not associated with Scientology, you're welcome to come onto my channel and explain what your involvement was with MGE, how you got hooked up with them, why you left them. Whatever you want to do. I don't know. I don't know what you really have to gain, but I'm pretty much vouching for you as it is right now. There are so many people who get wrapped up into these Scientology business consulting groups.
Yep. So that's the Scientology tie of how the ex-husband got into it. Okay, so we're going to keep talking about this because it is just taking on a whole nother life on the internet now. So if you guys see something, say something, clip it, send me a link, send me an article link. Tell me what I'm looking at. Natalie at lifeafteraccult.com. Scientology related across the boards. Keep them coming. It really helps me put everything together here, and I appreciate all of your help in doing that. Virginia, if I could, chalk time in Cupcake Man Place. Chalk time in Cupcake Man Place. Oh, you mean do some chalk outside of outside of the ex-husband's place? Lady Jane out. Natalie, I love your content. There's so many of y'all. I can't keep up. Love your recaps. They're epic. You rock. Thank you. And thank you for being here. 100%. But I want to know what you guys think. So again, if you're on the replay, get in those comments. Let me know. Tell me what you're thinking about this, because it's a lot. It's a lot. And the earlier stuff about Heber and all that, I think these are things that are going to be coming more to light now as well, because even though some of these incidents, like with his son, happened a while ago, it's very relevant today. He's still alive today. Where is he? Is he being taken care of? I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt it. So I would love it and appreciate it if you all would head over to that like button and just tap or smash it and hit that subscribe button as well. We are so close to hitting 19,000 subscribers. I'm super excited about it, thrilled about it, really. So let's, it'd be great even if we could get there today. I think we're almost at, I don't even know when I can't see it here. I think we're maybe 100 from 19,000, maybe actually probably less or something like that. Anyways, just hit the subscribe button. I'm crazy and had very Tiger King like. Yes, right? I know. I just like, oh. Okay, everybody, what I would like you to do is to head over. Did Nancy, did you already put a link for Marilyn Honig? We're going to go over there and she is going to be going. Is she going? She's going to be going live and she's going to have Nance Drew on to talk about Boobgate. So it looks like Nancy has a link in there for us to go take a look at. So head over to Marilyn Honig Coffee, Cults, and Crafts and check that out and give Nance Drew lots of love there. I thank you guys so much for being here. And again, say all of your continued support, your positive thoughts, all that for Tony, for both of us. I appreciate it. Like I said, coming up in the next few days, we'll do another update. If we can't do it together, I'll do one, but I'm really hoping to be able to do it with him. And yeah, just appreciate you all so much. Hope you guys all get out there today and have an amazing cult-free day.